We are live.
Shall I start, madam? Madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning, students. Welcome you all to the fourth day of our induction program. Today also we have a very versatile resource person, the most and talented resource person from UiPath, Mr.Basavdarshan GN is the program manager for industry enablement, UiPath. I think Shilpa Patil madam is the right person to give a small introduction about our Basavdarshan. On behalf of our college, our principal, and our students, and on my personal behalf, I welcome you, Basavdarshan sir, for the induction program. Definitely, our students are very eager to waiting for you to listen to you. I request Shilpa madam to give a small introduction about Basavdarshan. Over to you, madam.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Basavdarshan sir. Good morning, Maruti sir. Good morning, students. Here is a brief introduction about Basavdarshan. Mr. Basavdarshan holds a computer science engineering degree from VTU with over 5 years of experience in sales, businesses, development, and program management. Basavdarshan leads the UiPath Academic Alliance program for Indian and SAARC countries. As a part of his role, he is responsible for building mindshare for UiPath, increasing adoption, and working with leading institutions and workforce development organizations to equip students and professionals with the skills they need for automated world. He's a certified Scrum Master from Scrum Alliance. He's passionate towards skill development and working towards bridging the gap between industry and institutions. On behalf of East Point College of Engineering, I once again welcome you, Basavdarshan sir. I hope it will add a great value today to the first year students. You can take over the session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Just confirm me if you can hear me again.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Thank you so much. Before I begin, I would like to thank the management, principal, the whole department, staff, and faculty at East Point College of Engineering, and everybody present here. I'd like to thank you all for this opportunity for me to be here to interact with the first year students of East Point College of Engineering, and a warm welcome to all the first year engineering students who are beginning their journey of their, for most of them it must be their passion towards engineering which would have driven them to choose engineering, and it's time for them to enjoy this journey of 4 years of engineering, learn, experiment, and then just be there, learn as much as they can, and then do their best in the next 4 years so that they can build their careers upon. I'm going to share my screen now. Ma'am, I would just request you to confirm if you
Yes,
can
sir.
see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I've shared my screen.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So we are here today to discuss on one of the niche technology which is actually which we did not hear 5 years back, and right now it's one of the top technologies which is taking over across the domains in the industry at this point of time. So what we will do is today I'm going to introduce you to the new technology of robotic process automation, and I'm going to introduce you to UiPath. That's where I work, and give a heads up on how you can learn the technology, what you can do by learning the technology of robotic process automation, and how you can build your journey of build your career, and by learning the technology of robotic process automation from scratch, and how can you learn from the scratch of what is robotic process automation till getting certified and getting your first dream job hopefully in the space of robotic process automation itself, right? So this is what we are going to do today. As I said, so we are going to see what is robotic process automation, what is UiPath, what is UiPath Academic Alliance, and I'm gonna give a heads up on the UiPath certified professional, which is and then where you can build your career on robotic process automation as an RPA developer itself. So we might have heard a lot of things, if you have watched a lot of speakers speaking, and if you have read articles. One of the key things that we might have noticed across is that automation. When you hear of automation, the first thing that comes to mind is that fear of uh, you know going jobless, fear of jobs being taken away. That's something which we hear quite often in the industry, or outside. Whenever a layman sees an article on which says that automation, people are automating, we have robots taking away jobs, robots are going to do everything what humans used to do, and so on, right? So I'm here to convey a message that, of course, yes, exists. Automation is there, and it is here to help human beings in being more creative, in being more productive, and it is going to help people do things which are more creative in nature, and not do things which are mundane and repetitive in nature. So this is one thing which we have to constantly think of when we think of automation. I'm going to tell you why. So of course, this is a myth that it's going to take away jobs. There might be a slight percentage of jobs which might be impacted because of automation, but there is a reason, and there is a way how we can overcome it. And if we have to if we have to stay one step ahead of what all the others are thinking ahead, right? Of course, yes, the buzz is real. Automation is actually taking is going is being adopted across the verticals, across the industry, be it in the mechanical domain, be it in the IT process side, across the domains in the industry. One of the things which we can relate to is that people often thought that when computers came in first to the banking sector, everybody in the banking sector, all the people across thought that they might be losing their jobs, because computer is capable of doing everything that a human being is doing at the bank now. But in turn, what we did not realize is that it has created enormous number of job roles, enormous number of opportunities for young people to work on, where you wanted people to work on softwares which were required for banking, you wanted people to build hardware, you wanted people to research on the technologies which are widely used now. We use blockchain as one of the important technologies in the banking domain. So there are a number of such opportunities that were created when the computers were introduced in the banking sector first. The myth was that people will lose the jobs because of computers coming in. But what we see today is that we have lakhs and lakhs of people working in the space of banking and financial services sector, who are in IT itself, right? It did not take away anyone's job. All that it did was that it helped people in being more productive. That's point number one. Second thing is that you are now able to do any transaction any point of time at a click of a button. So technology has given us the flexibility to do all the transaction at the touch of a button from our phones. So the key point here is that the whole process of getting computers to the banking sector did not take away jobs. It actually increased the number of jobs that are present in the banking sector, right? All that it was needed was to learn the technology, learn the software, learn the tool that was responsible for for handling their transaction, for handling all the records of the bank. Earlier, which used to be the lecture based, everything used to be on the books. So they used to maintain everything on the ledger, on the books. Right now we have everything on cloud, we have everything digitalized. So you need not worry about maintaining hard books which are which is obviously which is not scalable, which is not efficient when you look at the computer, right? So this is the key point why I'm going to, which is very important here. The same thing is being reiterated by a lot of reports which are suggesting the same, which says that automation is, it does not take away jobs, but it in turn creates more number of jobs. There is a report by World Economic Forum which says that automation is going to create about 58 million net new jobs in the next 5 years. That's a whole it's a huge number to talk about, right? It is not just one report from World Economic Forum. We can see multiple reports which says the same, which says that AI and automation is here to stay. And there's one more report which says, well, automation is going to replace about 8,000 8 lakh people, but then it's going to create 3.5 million new jobs. And that's one more thing. And then if we have looking at the specific technology of robotic process automation, it's here. It says by 2021 we are already here. It says RPA will generate 2 lakh new jobs in India itself. That's a huge number to talk about, right? So we have the opportunity, we have the technology which is growing, which has been adopted across the industry. It's up to us now, who has to learn, who has to start working on learning the technology, so that we can just get adopted. We can just go start working whenever there is a need in the industry. When we just complete our engineer, we are ready to start working, right? So that's something that we are looking at. So the key message here is that automation is here to stay. Automation is here to stay. And we, as individual, it's our responsibility to learn the technology which is being adopted across the verticals in the industry. And it is not just for the students who are now studying in the institution, it is also for the professionals like me who are already working in the industry, that we need to learn, we need to keep upskilling ourselves. This is one more key point again from a report from World Economic Forum, which says that no less than 54% of the employees would require significant reskilling and upskilling. It is, as I said, it's not just for the students who need to learn the relevant skills at the right time, it is also for the people who are working, right? So you cannot say no at any point of time in your career. You can't have that perception that if you learn for 4 years and you can just chill out for the next rest of your life. No, you can't. Nobody can do that. So it's one of the things that we have to keep in mind, is that learning is constant throughout the life. And that's again is evident by the report which we are seeing now. So what we have seen now is that we have seen that automation is going to create jobs. Learning is important for everyone, and RPA as a technology, I'm going to introduce you what the technology is all about, what are the components, how it is useful, and what are the benefits for you as an individual, how it is benefiting for the people who are looking to automate across their organization in the industry, and so on. What automate, you see, you might have heard about job roles, right? So after completing your engineering, somebody would have dreamt of being a software developer, somebody would have heard of being being a software tester. You might have heard about different roles which are quite similar to that, right? So but with the emergence of a technology of robotic process automation, it has given birth to the job roles, to the new set of career paths which were unheard before. So the whole technology and the term of robotic process automation was coined in the year of 2015. And that's when, before that, when I was studying, one or before 2015, there was no term of robotic process automation. So that's when the term of robotic process automation was coined. And the adoption across the industry in the last 5 years has been tremendous. And that's the reason why we are now saying that it is not just the technology which is being adopted, it is not just one specific role for a person. It has now given birth to uh, many such career paths for somebody to build their career on, by being a junior RPA developer, where you start your journey as an RPA developer, someone who actually helps people automate their jobs in the industry from in their organization. And we have multiple such roles, the career paths which are now, which did not exist prior, which need specialized skill set of being and the knowledge on robotic process automation and the tools. So one of them being an RPA developer, you can see we have a citizen developer, we have RPA users, we have business analysts, we have solution architects. We had all these kind of job roles earlier. We had developer, consultant, infrastructure engineer, project manager, etc. But what we are seeing with the emergence of technology of robotic process automation is that all these job roles would now require the specialized skill set of being knowledgeable and being skilled in this in the space of robotic process automation. So you can now be an RPA developer, begin your career, and then go ahead, start working. You can also become a business RPA business analyst. You can then become an infrastructure engineer. You can then become an RPA consultant who will help people understand the technology and lead the transformation within their organizations. So these are the new set of career paths which are now available for you to look upon when you are learning at this point of time, when you are beginning to learn the technology, and your journey of learning in the engineering, right? So this is on one side. If we are going to look at the report which was suggested by LinkedIn, which is through its emerging jobs report for India in 2020, two among the top two jobs that were listed, top two skills that were required by the industry in the year 2020 are in the space of robotic process automation. One is that being an RPA consultant, that's robotic process automation consultant, and second thing is a robotics engineer, that's software. Somebody, as I said, you can become an RPA developer, somebody who looks at automating their own helping people automate the processes at an organization level. All right, so this is the opportunity that we are seeing at this point of time, and it's up to us to start learning the technology, and then just be ready for the transformation that we are going to see in the industry. And this is going to help us in building our careers, in shaping our careers as well. So we have spoken about why we need to learn the technology, what are the impact and the opportunity that is lying in front of us. Right now, let us see what is the technology of robotic process automation is all about. So robotic process automation is once a technology which actually where you will build a software robot which will mimic a human the human interacting with digital system, all the which will basically mimic the human actions, the human interaction. Whatever we do on a machine on a day-to-day basis, the same thing can be mimicked, and a software robot can do the same thing. Basically, RPA uses the screen, the computer screen. The software robots use the computer screen that we use, and whatever jobs that we do on a day-to-day basis, right? If that is repetitive, if that is mundane in nature, I'll give you one of the simplest example to relate to everybody. So I'm sure all the audience here, especially the students, you would be using Facebook. One of the simplest example I'm trying to relate to you is that every day Facebook gives an alert that, hey, today is so and so, today is Darshan and four others birthday. So every midnight 12 o'clock you might see this notification that, hey, you have your friend's birthday today, just go wish them. You will see this notification on a day-to-day basis, right? So I can build a small software robot which will assist me in wishing all my friends at midnight 12 o'clock using a customized message every day without missing any of my friends, and I don't need to be awake at 12 o'clock. The robot can actually do that because it is repetitive in nature. All that a robot has to do is that, I mean, of course, all that you were doing until now is that you used to log into Facebook, check whose birthday it is today, and write a message, send them a message, wish them. That's it. In turn, you will go take a nap, you'll do whatever you want to do. The robot will log into Facebook at every day 12 o'clock, checks whose birthday it is, searches for Google. You can even ask it to search in Google, or you can always pre-store or template which it can just use to wish your friends, and then send them a beautiful message on your behalf, and you need not worry. Right, this is the simplest of the simplest example where I could quote where something which is repetitive in nature and mundane in nature, which we have been doing on a day-to-day basis, where a software robot can actually relate, and a software robot can actually help us automate the process, right? So similarly, if we are looking at an enterprise level, if you're looking at an organization scale, we have n number of such processes where we would be doing um, uh, we'd be having a lot of such processes which are repetitive and mundane in nature. The whole idea is here is that we don't want to or the technology does not intend people to take away everything from them. Of course, it is highly not possible. It is only those structured, only those processes which are structured, which are repetitive in nature, which can be automated, right? So that you might have heard people telling that wahi kaam hai yaar, we're doing the same thing again and again, very boring, right? We don't want people to tell that they're doing a boring thing again and again. If you're doing something which is very much repetitive and boring, it's high time for you to use a software robot, automate, and do something which is much more creative, which takes your intelligence and your creative, which needs your creativity, and not do something which is which is very much repetitive and boring in nature, right? So that is the technology of robotic process automation. In layman terms, robotic process automation, it mimics the human interaction that we do on a machine, and we can build software robots which actually mimic our interaction, mimic the actions that we do on the computer, which and and execute the processes, so that we can do something which is creative, something which requires more intelligence, and not do something which is very much boring and mundane in nature, right? So this is about the technology of robotic process automation. So how can I begin? What are the components? What is the technology all about? How can I build the software robot, right? So there are different components under robotic process automation, and one of them is a UiPath Studio. Studio is where you can design and build your software robots, your processes. So basically all the things, as I said, so all the steps that you would do on your by yourself on a day-to-day basis, everything which is repetitive, you identify them first, and then you can automate, you can build that automation, that process using UiPath Studio. And then once you build the process, once you build the automation using UiPath Studio, you can now run those using UiPath robots. These are software robots which run the processes which you want to automate, right? And then we have UiPath Orchestrator, which is basically used to manage all the robots. So the example I quoted had only one robot, right? So think about a scenario where a company is using UiPath, a company is using RPA, a company has deployed software robots into its production, and there are about hundred or thousands of robots which are executing different tasks at different level throughout the organization. There we have a need to manage all those robots, right? All those robots which are in production, which we need to check which robots are running. We need to check what is the status of each robot, whether the robot is running seamlessly, whether the robot needs attention, if there is any issue, or if there is any input that a robot needs to continue its execution, and so on and so on. Or if you have to schedule the robot, say for example, I need a robot to run every day at 12 o'clock, for the example I quoted, right? If you have to wish your friends every day midnight, send a birthday wishes for them, we need a robot to run at every day 12 o'clock midnight. So we can schedule all these things using the UiPath Orchestrator, right? These are the three main components. If you can repeat from wherever you are, UiPath Studio is the first thing, UiPath Robot, and the third one is UiPath Orchestrator. Studio is to design and build your automations. Robots are used to execute or run your automations, the processes that you want to automate. And third one is the UiPath Orchestrator, where you're going to manage all the robots, starting from configuring it, on what time it has to run, and managing the whole execution of that robot, right? So these are the same thing, three important components of the technology of robotic process automation: Studio, robot, and an orchestrator. So this is one such technology which you will love to learn, because of the fact that it is less of coding and more of GUI based. It's more of graphical user interface, where you drag and drop activities, select the activity. You can just drag and drop, show the robot what you want to do, and it can just mimic whatever you do, right? Let me take this moment to introduce you to the UiPath Studio. As I said, this is where you actually build your automations by dragging and dropping activities from the studio, right? It's less of coding. All that you need to do is to teach the studio, teach the studio on what you want to automate and what do you want the robot to do, right? I'm sure you all would be excited and you would want to try out UiPath Studio at the end of the session. So this is, so until now we have seen the need for us to learn the technology. We have seen what is the technology of RPA all about. We have seen what are the components of the technology of robotic process automation, the three main components, and we have also seen the UiPath Studio. Now I would like to give few more details on what these robots can do, right? I told that robots can mimic our interaction, what we do on a machine on a day-to-day basis, right? So typically what we do on a machine, what do we do on a computer is that we log into different applications, we copy files from one folder to another, we basically log into emails, check our emails, download attachments, we do some calculations, we read and write data, that's basically storing information, capturing, gathering information and storing it into a different place. And if you copy data from websites, these are typically, extracting data from PDF. These are typically the activities that we do on our machine. So all these activities can be mimicked by a software robots. The robots are so intelligent that it can log into your any application that you tell them to. It can copy data from one application to another. It can do some calculations if you suggest, if you configure it. It can read data from a database, do some calculation, and then submit the data to a different table. It can read your emails, it can log into your email and check all your emails, it can extract the data, it can also check all the attachments that are present in your email and extract the data from the PDFs or the attachments present in your emails and extract the data. And then it can also make some calculations and then give out the results for the end user to take, in proceed further, right? So this is typically that we do on a day-to-day basis on a machine. So here, these are the activities that typically what we do, and these are the activities which a robot can also do. Now comes the part where you try to connect all these activities and you form a process. Say for example, you all might have applied, I know some of you might have tried applying for a banking loan for an education purpose, right? When you're joining your engineering. So what happens typically is that you submit an online application, you go to the bank. At this point of time, you go to the bank, submit all the records and come back. What a person sitting in a bank will do is that he actually takes all the information that you have provided, verifies all the data that you have provided as a proof, and the application that you have submitted to them, and they take time and they come back to you and say, okay, your purpose for the education loan is sanctioned, and you're being sanctioned the loan amount of 4 lakhs or 5 lakh rupees at an interest of so and so for a tenure of 5 years or 10 years, whichever that you choose. So this is the standard, right? Typically it takes few days for us to execute this process from giving out an application to the at the bank to getting the loan sanctioned, and getting the money into our account. So this is a process which we're looking at as an example. I'm trying to relate because I'm sure some of you would have tried applying for an education loan at this point of time. Typically, if you are using a technology of robotic process automation, and if you are making use of robots to do the same things what a human beings are doing at this point of time, you submit the data along with the application, the proofs like your IT returns, the purpose of your loan, and all the basic details required for this purpose of requesting a loan online. And all these details will be captured by the banks. And what happens is that the robot will extract all the information from these bank, from the data that you have provided to the bank, and the robot goes to the third party website to check the credit score, like a CIBIL score for example. And the robot actually scrapes the data from the IT report or the proofs that you are submitting, and verifies all the data with the data that's already present with the bank, with the bank servers. And at the end, the robot goes to the bank policies and comes back to you and says, look, your documents are verified, and for the purpose of education loan that you have requested, and for the amount that you have requested, this is the amount that we can sanction at this so and so interest. So this is something which we can you know which we can automate, and the software robot will execute this within few minutes. Something which used to take few days for a human being to verify and process the applications is being done in less than a minute or within few minutes by a software robots. This is one such simple example where we can try relate to, right? If you're looking at similar kind of applications in the industry in different domains, I've already given one such example in the finance sector, right? Similarly, in the supply chain, we have the application, we can apply software these software robots can be useful in managing our inventory, in planning our inventory, in also to extract the data from the invoices. It can generate the invoices, it can take the data from our systems, it can extract the data from the emails that we received. It might be through the orders, and it can upload the information to our systems like SAP or so and so. It can also create invoices and send an invoices to all our vendors, and so on. Similarly, in the IT, it can, these can help in monitoring the servers. It can help in maintaining and the servers, and also in the routine maintenance of the servers. In the HR, I'm trying to quote one example in different in domains, right? In the HR, if I have to start from basics, these robots can help creating accounts and giving access to the new employees who are going to be onboarded. And then, so that each company might have a number of different tools that they use internally, starting from the tools like Slack or Microsoft Office, where you need to create accounts in and activate them for the specific user. So what do you do is that you can have this robot which can actually create accounts. Once you create your Office account or your G Suite account, it can go on to multiple systems and create an account, and let the user know that their accounts are ready and they can start using those tools, right? And this can also help in sending payrolls and so on. So, and customer services, of course, yes. On the front end side, you might have heard about chatbots, right? You might have used Swiggy, Zomato. You might have used chatbot whenever you have a doubt, whenever you have some issue. You go to the support, and initially all the support is being handled by chatbot. You might have already seen the initial stages until you request for the chatbot to connect to your human being to interact with, because your issue might not be resolved from a chatbot. What typically happens is that you submit your information to a chatbot goes back and checks the data which is already configured to it, and comes back and responds. This is on one side. On the other side, if you're requesting you know if you're requesting some information, and if the chatbot is not able to find, what happens is that it connects to a human being at this point of time, right? And we have robots which actually helps them understand the query that a user is asking, and then suggest the most relevant answer to them to reply with. You might have seen that all these answers that a human being gives, it's also most of them would be templates based, right? That's one more application where the software robots are used. So we have seen multiple such examples where these software robots are already being used in the industry at this point of time, some of which whom we have already embraced in our day-to-day lives. There's one quick demo on how these software robots are used, and one such example here.
You're about to see a robot performing the following activities: monitoring a dedicated folder where invoices are saved in PDF format, reading invoices from that folder one by one, extracting key information from the invoices, opening SAP, Filling in invoice details in SAP. Sending email notifications. Please note that the robot will do some activities in the background, such as most of the invoice-related actions, monitoring a folder or checking its email address. Now let's see it working. Right now, it's monitoring a folder where 3 invoices are stored and collecting all the information needed so it can register them one by one. It then asks the tester to introduce the email address where the posting notification will be sent, and also performs basic checks to see if the SAP is open and runs it on its own if not. Logging into SAP using its credentials, it then starts processing the invoices one by one. We can see it filling in data such as vendor code, invoice date, invoice number, invoice amount, invoice description, and GL account, and ends up by filling the payment term. Following that, it registers the remaining 2 invoices in the assigned company code. An email containing the SAP registration number is sent automatically by the robot after successfully registering each invoice. Checking in the background, the robot verifies whether the VAT on the invoice matches the one in our database, and if so, will post it automatically. Otherwise, it will park it and send a dedicated email to the responsible person highlighting this difference and asking what to do. Post the invoice or to cancel it and send it back to the vendor. All the invoice's details are visible in the email it sends, so let's reply with yes to the message for an invoice with a VAT difference. Finally, it will check its email address in the background, access SAP using the appropriate transaction code, and post the invoice. And that's it. The robot has successfully posted the 3 invoices in SAP.
Right. So we have seen one example on invoice processing where a robot was extracting the data and then extracted the data from an email, read the email, got the information, updates the all the after extracting the data, it updates the information into the SAP and then notifies the user through an email and completes the whole process all by itself, right? So that was one typical example on how the software robots are being can be used and are already being used, right? So until now we have seen what is the technology of RPA, why we have the need for us to learn the technology, the application of robotic process automation, various domains where how it is already been implemented, and the application of RPA, and the career paths, how we can build our RPA career, how we can shape our careers in the space of robotic process automation, right? So now we will see how we can start learning, and what are how are we from UiPath helping students learn the technology of robotic process automation, and by collaborating with institutions across the globe. The whole idea is to democratize the learning of robotic process automation by providing all the necessary tools and that is required to learn the technology, to teach the technology at the institution. So this is through our program called UiPath Academic Alliance. UiPath, we have committed to train about 1 million students across the globe on the technology of robotic process automation. And what are we trying to do is that by working closely with universities, we are trying to institutionalize the learning of robotic process automation by working together with institutions, by working together with the educators, by enabling them with the latest, by enabling them with all the tools and technologies and the trainings required for them to learn the technology first, so that they can in turn go back and start teaching students with the in-demand automation skills that are required in the industry. So that's what we are trying to do. What are we offering is that we have built the courses keeping in mind students who are now studying in the engineering institutions across the globe, engineering and the B schools. So we have built a few of the courses. One of them is step into robotic process automation, where the course tells about, introduces you to the technology of robotic process automation first, and then with an effort of 2 to 4 hours, you will build your first software robot by using UiPath Studio. The second one is for the business students, which is again introducing robotic process automation for business, helping them understand how RPA can help automate their processes in the finance sector, basically in the BFSS sector, right? For business students to learn on. And the third one is robotic process automation design and development. This is the course which we have built keeping in mind the students who are studying in engineering, and which can become a full semester course, a 3 credit or a 4 credit course, where you learn from what is robotic process automation till the complete foundations of robotic process automation. And at the end of the course, you will be able to build the software robots. And we are glad that we are already working with East Point College of Engineering, and we have educators who are already being trained by UiPath there. And very soon you students will be exploring the technology. You will be exploring UiPath Studio, you will be downloading it, and you will be learning the technology of robotic process automation, and you will be learning the technology using the course of robotic process automation design and development that we have provided to the institution and the educators at the East Point College of Engineering. And this course of RPA design and development is aligned to our global certification, which is proctored, and which is called UiPath Associate RPA Developer Certifications, right? So at the end of completion of this course, you can take up this certification of UiPath Associate RPA Developer Certification. And all the students who are studying in the partner colleges like East Point, which is already our partner with the UiPath Academic Alliance, get 50% discount on the vouchers for the examinations. It's only exclusive for the students who are studying in our partner institution, right? So what do we learn in the course of robotic process automation, right? It has, as I said, it has theory where you learn the technology. It has lecture labs where you go hands-on and explore the components, where various activities, how you can do data scraping, how you can have Excel, how you can do activity, build your automations using Excel activity, or so and so. You'll go to explore all the activities present in the studio and build your automations. And at the end, you will also be able to do small projects. And we also have capstone projects as part of the content. And at the end of the course, once you finish learning the technology, you will be in a position to build your own robots, which can help you in automating your own processes. For example, like the way how I quoted, maybe by automating a simple process of wishing your friends in your Facebook, right? So why as a student you have to study the technology? It's very important for you because as I said, starting from first, you can use the technology, you can use software robots to help automate your own business. Your own task, one of them being wishing your friends. I'm just trying to carry this example because I think that finds and suits you well, where you will be able to relate to. And if you want to find any data, say for example tomorrow, if you're trying to look for a job, all that you can do is you can build a robot which can actually go to multiple websites. Like, say for example, you are trying to look for a job as an RPA developer, right? You can build a robot which can go to multiple websites like LinkedIn. It can go to Monster, it can go to Shine, or any such Indeed, or any such website where you find jobs, and go and explore jobs which matches your resume, right? And then it can give out all the list of jobs along with the website link where you can just go and apply. Or you can even make the robot apply for all the profiles where you think it is relevant to you. And all these things would be done in few minutes by a software robot, and you need not worry of doing all by yourself, right? All that you need to do is to put that effort in learning the technology and build the technology, and the robot will take care of the job that you are doing, that you would want to do, right? So this is something that is crucial. That's one thing. So if you're learning the technology, one application is that you can start adopting the technology for yourself. The second thing is that You can build your career in the space of robotic process automation itself as an RPA developer, as a junior RPA developer, become an RPA developer, become a project manager, become a consultant, and grow through and build and grow through your career by learning the technology itself, right? This is something. And the third thing is that the technology is growing so fast, the technology is being adopted across the verticals, across the industry, at the pace that tomorrow you will see robots like the way how we are using our excels and ppt today, right? So we would be using software robots on a day-to-day basis, on a day-to-day basis in the near future. And that's the vision that we are carrying. Also, we want a robot for every person is a vision that we are carrying. And we from UiPath Academic Alliance, we envision to have a robot for every student, which will help them in doing their tasks, which will help them in finding their jobs, it will help them in applying for all those jobs, it will help them in researching, it will help them in all the tasks that where they find it is very much repetitive and mundane in nature, right? So this is about the technology, how you can learn, and how you can embrace if you're learning the technology of robotic process automation. So how can we validate? So today, when you're applying for jobs, one key thing that that's very important for you to showcase your skill is that you need to showcase that, okay, when somebody sees your resume, they must they must get a feel that, okay, this person is skilled in this. So how do you prove that credibility? This is when the UiPath certified professional program comes into picture, and you can take up the UiPath certification. And one of the key things, as I said, is that it can give you that credibility where you can add it into your resume that you are now certified UiPath RPA associate certified. That will help the employer to cross verify if they want, because every certification will have a unique ID, and that can be cross verified. And these certification and these examinations are proctored in nature, which means that nobody can actually take exam on your behalf, or nobody can even copy, because these are taken in proctored centers. Or even if you're taking it online through on Pearson OnView platform, it is being web proctored. And this also in turn adds brand to your expertise, because you would be knowing the technology, but now you can always say that you are UiPath certified. And then this will help you in getting your first job. This certification will help you build and get that leap in your career that you are looking at, right? So this is the the positives that we're looking at. These are the benefits that we're looking at by taking the certification. Once you learn the technology of robotic process automation, how can you get certified? Right, first, you need to choose as a beginner who is just beginning to learn the technology of robotic process automation. You will learn the technology first. You can go to our UiPath Academy, which is a free e-learning platform. You go create your account at academy.uipath.com, start your learning from what is being from step into RPA. As I said, you can just learn from RPA starter what is it introduces you to the technology of robotic process automation. That's one thing which you can do by yourself. Let me just skip and go through the next thing where I can go in detail. Through a partnership already, you will at some point of time get exposed to the course of robotic process automation design and development, where you will learn the course within your institution itself. And then after completing the course, you can do all the exercises which are aligned with the course, and then take up the practice test, and then take up the certification. If you have to come back again, you select the examination, learn. One is that you can learn from UiPath Academy, and you're not lucky enough because we are already working with the institutions, and you will get to learn the technology within your campus, in your classroom itself. And then you can take up the practice test for the course that you're going to learn. And then you can schedule an exam at the Pearson View proctored Prometric Center, or using the OnView platform. And then you can take up the examinations, and then you can manage the certification with the UiPath certification manager. That's on Certmetrics, right? So this is the path to get certified. UiPath certification journey. You learn the technology. You learn the technology first. If you're learning from the academy, you have to learn the RPA Developer Foundation Learning Plan, which is in the academy. That is at academy.uipath.com. And then one more course, automation version control systems course, which is again in the academy. And then take up practice test and take up the examination. Or if you are learning through the trainer, if the educator is teaching you, just go opt for the training, sit in the class. You will get to learn the technology of robotic process automation. You will learn the course of RPA design and development, and then you can go ahead and complete the hands-on exercises, do some projects, so that you get to know the activities better, you get to know the tools better, and you get to explore the opportunities of where you can build software robots which can help you on a day-to-day basis. You never know. I quoted one example, but you might be getting in such examples once you start exploring the tool. This is, I'm sure you will love to work on this UiPath Studio, because it gives you instantaneous results. So the moment you put 2 or 3 hours of effort, at the end you will see the robot in action. I'm sure you're going to love that, right? So, and then you can get certified as an end result, where you will add brand, you will add credibility, you can proudly say that you are certified and you have these skills, and which you can start using, which you can start working on if somebody is hiring you in the industry, right? So this is what we have seen. So where can you get your jobs, right? So we are now working with we have large ecosystem of business partners across the globe who are now using UiPath to automate their own processes and to automate processes for their clients. And you can see some of the biggest brands which you might have heard of. You might have heard of Infosys, Cognizant, Wipro, Deloitte, PwC, Ethos, Accenture. Name a company. It's already being present here, right? Capgemini, etc. If I have to give some more, we have PwC, we have EY, Deloitte, we have Unilever. You can see NASA as an example. NASA uses only UiPath. This is again a testimony of the kind of adoption that we have seen in the industry at this point of time for UiPath, right? So we have Bosch, we have Cisco, we have GE, Walmart, and so on, right? These are the companies which are already using, and these are the companies who actually look for RPA developers to hire, who can help them automate, their processes, and also to serve their clients, right? So this is where we have learned from the need for automation, why we need to learn automation, why we got to know what is robotic process automation, we got to know what are the important components of robotic process automation. Let me repeat: the UiPath Studio, UiPath Robot, UiPath Orchestrator. If you can remember 3 words at this point of time, I'd be very happy. That is UiPath Studio, UiPath Robot, UiPath Orchestrator. UiPath Studio is a place where you can build your automation. UiPath Robot is where you can execute, you can run your processes that you have built. And UiPath Orchestrator is a place where you can manage all the robots that you are going to build. So these are the 3 main things. And then we have seen the career opportunities that RPA as a technology has opened up. We have seen the applications of the technology of robotic process automation in various domains, and we have seen one simple robot in action, where the robot was extracting data from the emails and updating the information into your SAP system and responding back to the users by taking your input in the middle as well. And we have seen the usage, and we have seen how you can learn the technology of robotic process automation. You can either go to academy by logging on to academy.uipath.com, or opt for the course when it is being offered in your institution, and then learn the technology. And then we have seen how you can get certified, add value to your resume, add credibility, add a brand to your resume, so that you are confident enough to speak and showcase that you already have the skills relevant, right? And then we have seen the companies where you can get your potential next new jobs, right? Thank you so much from my side. You can contact me or follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn through @Basavdarshan GN. I would be very happy to answer all your questions. You can now please feel free to answer, post your questions. I'd be very happy to help you all. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prakash sir. Thank you to the management, Shilpa ma'am, and all the professors at the East Point College, and all the students who have learned, who have listened to me for an hour patiently in the morning today through this program. Thank you. Thank you so much again.
Students can post their questions. If you have any queries, Mr. Basavdarshan will answer you all.
Both of them. Basavdarshan sir, I have one small question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, after listening to you, what I understand is we have a physical robots for the manufacturing sector.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
can I say this RPA is also like a robo for the software companies?
Exactly, sir. Exactly like the way how the whole transformation took place in the manufacture
Yes,
sector, right? We had all the
yes,
robots doing everything that was, today we see a Toyota Innova that's been manufactured in Biddi in 90 seconds,
yes,
right? So that's
yes,
a,
yes, yes.
adoption that we have seen of the robots. Similarly, as you said, on the software side, RPA is one such technology. We have these software robots which are going to help us in a similar way in automating our processes in the across the verticals, across the processes in the
Oh,
domain of in the software industry.
very nice. So then it must be a beautiful technology. So in fact, how this physical robots converted this blue-colored jobs into white-colored jobs and making the life of a human being easy and very comfortable. Definitely,
Yes, sir.
even RPA is also going to ease our work and
Yes,
make life very, very easier, I feel. And as you mentioned in the beginning itself, it is going to create around 50 million jobs all over the world, and 2 lakhs job in the India alone means definitely there is a great contribution from this UiPath, okay, in creating the jobs. So definitely society must be very grateful to this technology.
yes, sir.
Uh, I think if students are having any questions, you can free to ask the questions, right?
So there is one
This is
question from Pages HS.
yes, yes,
Can a
yeah.
student from EC branch get into robotics?
Well, I should have added this into my slides. Good question. Thank you so much. So all that it requires for somebody to learn the technology is that you must be knowing any of the programming languages, right? So in the first year of your engineering, I'm sure you would be learning C programming at least, and that is good enough for you to explore, start learning the technology of the robotic process automation. While that is being said and done on papers, we have had people, students from 9th standard, we have had students from 11th standard, 12th standard, who have built software robots using the platform of UiPath Studio. As I said during my presentation, just go to academy.uipath.com, create your account, and start learning. You can download the free version of academic software. Post this call, we'll make sure that you will get a communication from the institution where with these links. One is that you can create your account. Second thing is you can download the software. Third thing is you can start learning and then just start working hands on, right? So it becomes almost irrelevant for you, irrespective of the departments from where you come from. You will be able to learn the technology of robotic process automation, because as I said, at this point of time, one is that you look at building your career in the space of RPA. The second thing is that this technology is set to be that one technology where everybody would be using on a day-to-day basis in the near future. So it is for everyone to learn. It is for everyone to learn at least the foundation and the basics.
So
Ishwar
there
is
is one
having.
more question from Ishwar.
Madam, I think
What is
Ishwar
the
has got one question.
what is the
What is the
role of
role of
natural language processing in RPA?
See, as I said, right? So we are at this point of time when I say the technology of robotic process automation, uh, or largely, if somebody is looking at building their career in the space of artificial intelligence, right? That's where you have all these things. You have NLP, you have OCR, you write your machine learning code. You have multiple such technologies coming into one place, and that's why we call it as right now we call it the term as hyper automation, where we have multiple technologies coming in and helping people automate their businesses, right? So it is part and parcel of it. You can, so it's basically, if I have to say the roles of natural natural language processing, it's one thing is that within we have AI capabilities within the software robots, which one of them is being the natural language processing. We have multiple multiple such technologies, like we have document understanding as well, along with natural language processing, just to give an example to you. So all these things will come together. We have the maybe this can also be integrated. We have OCR, we have document understanding, we have natural language processing. Everything comes together and helps you automate a whole process of that you're looking at to automate, right?
Kanchana complimented. We got good information, sir. Thank you. Yeah, definitely.
There are many compliments flooding across for your session, sir. It was a very good
Thank you so
session.
much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So one key thing to do for us is to explore. You can just go and Google UiPath Academy, create your account, and start learning. You will get to know what is the technology of RPA is, and then just start exploring the tool. I'm sure you will be able to build exciting projects, exciting exciting software robots to make use of.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, we have a center of excellence of this UiPath in our college. No, sir. In fact, as soon as they enter into the campus, it is the sorry. As soon as
Yes,
they enter into the campus, in fact, they enter into the UiPath lab to begin with. We have a continuous association with sir and Rajesh Nambiar, sir. Right from last 2 years, we have a continuous association with this, and many people are participating in this UiPath technology. In fact, they have guided even for the faculty members how to create your own robos. I think, right, sir?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much for your time, sir. On
Thank
behalf
you,
of
sir.
our
Thank
college, on my personal behalf, and on behalf of my students, once again, I thank you. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Over to you, Shilpa madam.
Thank you everyone. Thank you all the students, management, and Prakash sir, Shilpa ma'am, sir, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Shilpa madam?
Yes, sir.
I
I
think
will.